What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for joining us. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co-host Andrew. Don't get it twisted, Lapache, and this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you once more for joining us on this lovely Monday, a very toasty Monday evening here in Las Vegas. We appreciate you guys' patience. For those of you who recall, yesterday was Father's Day. So definitely a very warm Father's Day to everybody. As I like to say, fathers keep their sons out of jail and their daughters off the stripper pole. So very important role in people's lives. So happy Father's Day to everybody who have children or who are father figures to children. As always, we appreciate you guys. So thank you for being in our lives. Happy Father's Day to everybody. But because of that, we had stuff to do with our families, and unfortunately, we weren't able to get a show recorded yesterday. So things kind of caught up with us. But regardless, we wanted to still throw a show at you guys closer to the beginning of the week. Because we have quite a few things going on this week as far as like fights go. Specifically, we are within fight week. It is officially fight week. Xander Zayas putting his unified super welterweight championship on the line against Boots Ennis, Duran Boots Ennis. That will be taking place this Saturday. And from Brooklyn, and of course we normally have a Wednesday show, a midweek show, and that's usually the ones that we talk about our predictions and the odds and whatnot. So we're gonna leave all the majority, at least, of the Zayas and Boots talk for the Wednesday show. So just kind of keep that in mind, guys. We'll be not talking about that too much here because we will be having a Wednesday show and going into much greater detail then. So that's a brief reminder. For what we got to talk about today. All right, we got some numbers. We got some UFC Freedom 250 numbers. We're going to be talking about. Got some pretty big numbers, but a lot of things considered. We want to talk about not just Ronda Rousey's response, but also Jake Paul's response to it, and allegedly, there's still more numbers to be released that we still got to take a look at. But that's something that we talked about last week because we hadn't heard anything really. A few days had already passed by the time we recorded the show, and we hadn't heard anything. And then literally a day after we did the show, boom, we got some numbers. So we're going to be discussing that. Last week, Andrew wasn't really on board with the silence from Terrence Crawford after Conor McGregor being on the Ariel Helwani show, basically calling him out, saying, "Yo, we offered this amount of money, you haven't said shit, right?" We were hoping that we would hear something from Crawford, and we kind of sort of did. A little cryptic, we'll talk about what exactly he said, but I mean, it looks like a pretty clear response to McGregor, but we're going to be talking about it, whether or not it's a legitimate response, or is it just like, yo, really, you could do a lot better than that. On the subject of Crawford getting a lot of backlash, he was in attendance for the UFC 250 Freedom card and took plenty of pictures with President Trump. And apparently a lot of his fans didn't like that shit. Everybody in the comments like, unfollow, bro, what the hell? And in the quotes, or in the caption, he says, this guy's a fan of me. We're not talking about Trump. A lot of other people saying, what else he's a fan of? So a lot of backlash he's getting there, whether or not it's appropriate or not. We'll talk about that and throw in our 2 cents on what could be the ramifications of that. More news, sad news. Unfortunately, Turki Al-Sheikh facing some serious health issues. It's been all over the internet, and we're going to be talking about what these health issues are, what could they potentially mean to the future, and I mean future within the next couple of years, because according to him, he's doesn't have much time with us, unfortunately, and at least up here mentally. So we're going to be talking about that and what could come after that, and he seems to be in a very dark place, unfortunately. So we're going to be talking about that for one Turki Al-Sheikh. In this topic of dark places, Floyd Mayweather. He is still supposed to be fighting this Greek kickboxer later this week, or I believe the same night that Zanis and Boots are going to fight, but the DAZN app has officially removed it from their fight calendar. Oh crap! Whether or not that fight will actually go down, we're going to be discussing it, throwing our 2 cents, and I guess trying to figure out what the hell's next for one Floyd Mayweather Jr. Teofimo Lopez's manager, Keith Connolly, throwing out a little teaser on social media, saying, "Yo, we got some announcements going on, or one big fight announcement or announcement, I guess, for the next step in Teofimo Lopez's career." Of course, we've read a whole bunch of rumors that he may be the next person to sign with Zuffa. Whether or not this is, we'll find out, according to him, roughly about a week from now. But we're going to be talking about his exact quote on what he said to kind of get us nice and lubed up for the potential news. There was some boxing on Saturday, relatively uneventful, but some information came out. Some good information came out of that. That was a Golden Boy card, and of course, Oscar De La Hoya was present and gave us an update on the Virgil Ortiz situation. Oh shit, okay. Haven't heard any updates on that, right? Everything has been kind of silent for a little bit, but it sounds as though we might be headed towards a resolution. So that's good news for everybody, especially the 155-pound class. Holy hell. All right. So that's going to be the topics that we're going to be talking about. As always, before we get crack-a-lackin' with this show, quick word from our channel sponsor, Health E Sol or Health Y Sol, tallow-based products, tallow-based soap in particular. Make sure to check them out, and if you happen to find anything you might want to try, make sure to use the checkout code MADBoxing10 and get 10% off of your purchase, or you follow the affiliate link that's going to be in the description of this video and get the same 10% off. As I always say, lavender patchouli is my favorite, so make sure to give that a try. Once more, Health E Sol or Health Y Sol, checkout code MADBoxing10. All right, so we're gonna get crack-a-lackin' with this stat, right? I guess it's last week we're talking about how quiet the news was in regards to the viewership for the UFC Freedom 250 card. There's been a lot of there was a lot of speculation as to how much it was. Somebody threw in this crazy freaking number, and then somebody completely shut that down and say, no, it's not even near that number. All right. This is essentially what I was able to gather, because literally a day after we talked about it on the show, numbers were being released. Now, the numbers that I'm reading off of all these people's, like other content creators' accounts, is the same. So it could be that they're legitimate, but let me go ahead and get this going here. Viewership highlights. This is from MMA Fighting, which is a pretty legitimate website. For UFC Freedom 250, right? Now, it says here, before it goes into the details, note, all metrics are US and Latin American only. As the exclusive right holders, UFC will announce viewership numbers outside of the US and Latin America next week. So according to this, there are still more numbers to be tallied, and that will be completed, I guess, whether the next week or so. So they're anticipating more numbers next week. Live average minute audience, streaming views, 8.2 million. And that's combined, of course, US and Latin America, over 7 bouts. And it peaked at 17 million. And of course, that is combined. Those are some pretty significant numbers. Definitely not Super Bowl numbers, and not the 1 billion that I think somebody else threw out there as well. I don't understand Dana White's position when he says, when he anticipated this would do Super Bowl numbers, knowing very well that there's only a certain number of subscribers out there that have Paramount. So I'm not sure how he calculated or even thought it would come close to those kinds of numbers. But it didn't take too long for one Jake Paul and Ronda Rousey to respond to this. But before we get to their responses, let's go and get a response from our boy Andrew. Andrew, welcome to the show. Go ahead and I'll bring you in here. All right, so numbers are what they are. At least this is what it's looking like. What was your first impression, Andrew, when you read the numbers that were being released?
Well, I seen it, what you sent me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really look it, you guys. UFC's claiming it's the biggest event they've ever done, yet them and Paramount don't come out together and announce it. Instead, Paramount says, well, why don't you just let all the MMA influencers announce our biggest numbers ever? I don't buy it. So I don't buy it. I want Paramount Plus to come out and tell me that they gave the UFC the biggest platform they've ever had, and it responded with 17 million viewers, right? Because that's what would be done, like Netflix has done numerous times with Jake Paul. With Jake Paul's fights, with the MMA fight, Netflix always seems to be backing Jake Paul's numbers. Today, Paramount still isn't. I've already went to both their Facebook and their Instagram. There's nothing yet from Paramount saying anything about 250. I think that's a red flag. This UFC 250 is really starting to act like election night in California, huh? three days from now, we'll have more numbers. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Hey, wait, numbers just coming in overnight? We finding bags of fucking numbers in closets somewhere? Like, come on, you guys.
Ballots that haven't been tallied yet?
Yeah. Hey, look at that. We only had 100 grand, and overnight, 300 grand. Oh, come on. Like,
are they going to start counting people that don't have subscriptions? Is that how it works? Like, oh, you're not a real citizen. I mean, you don't have a subscription.
Bro, I heard, Miguel, they were throwing so much bullshit at us. This is the YouTube. This is the all the platforms combined. Dude, Joe Rogan literally went on his show and said, by Monday, we'll have this many views. By Monday. What the fuck? Have you ever seen anybody go, oh, yeah, and the replay, man, let's add the replay with the live numbers and we'll put them together. Does that make it bigger? Come on, bro. The reality is that Jake Paul stepped into this sport and literally in year one is the MMA promoter of the year for 2026. Not for all the rest of them, not for the future. But in 2026, Jake Paul came to the MMA world and delivered a staggering number that has not been matched yet. And until Paramount comes out and says, no, Netflix, we matched your 17 million. Here's our numbers. I will not believe it. Jake Paul came out and told them, we're the number one MMA. I'm just glad to be number one MMA site or viewership. Did you see that little tweet post he did on the MVP?
Sure did.
Dana did not respond with, you're a fool. Here are the numbers. Right? Instead, Dana put a bunch of his little guys out there to let them go and for an extra ticket maybe for the next UFC fight. But I will not believe that news that is that big. Because if we're talking about 17 million peak, that's down there. That's literally their whole platform was watching. What a great stat to put on your thing that the UFC damn near took every TV that has Paramount Plus in America and was watching the UFC that night. Remember, people, when you go to their Instagram, there's only 2.2 million followers. They're saying they had 17 million people watching that night. That's a staggering number of people interested in Paramount that you don't seem to have on your platforms, right? And once again, when I go to Netflix, 40 plus million. Okay, so somebody's interested. So Paramount seems like a small fish that just did a big thing. Let's go ahead and step out and put our head on the line and say we did that. So until that happens, I'm glad that I don't really care what happens here because I think it's already a win for Jake Paul. The numbers that we're trying to push still don't match what Jake Paul and them did. They're saying it matched at a peak view. They're saying their audience was 17 million. You guys are saying, well, someone passed by and looked at it and then kept moving. Can we count that? The real numbers are still like in under 10 million, you know? So it is what it is. It was a great event. It was a great backdrop. UFC has the same, Terrence Crawford is finding out what the UFC's problems are. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about that later. But I clearly think the UFC put themselves in their own predicament here on UFC 250. Just too much rumors was out there about who was going to be in attendance. It was a little too far to the right, and honestly, it's sad that the country's like that right now. We're going to talk about it even more. But because a person's political views should not make a decision between you if you like that person or not. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we're at. But for the numbers, I'm gonna hold off. What are we in week 2 now?
No, let me see here. So it
It was
was
last Sunday.
yeah. So a little over a week.
All right, a little over a week. All right, so
Yeah.
we a little over a week. I'll give them maybe not even Wednesday, Sunday. If Paramount has not backed these numbers by the next Sunday show, dude, we got a problem in Houston. Something's going on that they're lying to us about. Because Paramount seems too small to not want to act like they're the big fish like Netflix.
If the numbers are correct, would this be a quote unquote win? Yeah, granted, it's not the numbers that Dana has been saying and everybody else and their mom has been saying, but when this is kind of the second part of the story, when Ronda Rousey comes out and posts kiss my ass, Hunter, saying like, yo, you guys still didn't beat it, and Jake Paul saying, yeah, we're still guys, the most watched event, MMA history. In perspective, with Netflix having the capability to reach so many more people, and the UFC having, or Paramount having far fewer and still coming close to their numbers, is that not to some degree a win that they got that close to the numbers with far fewer actual subscribers?
Well, it matters what number you're paying attention to, Miguel. If you're strictly going off the 17 million because they totaled everything together, that's not. I mean, it's not the same, bro. If you put the two things on a what do you say? I was gonna say a chalkboard. You can't say a chalkboard.
No.
What do they do in school? What do they do in school now, bro? When you put it on that whiteboard, right? Put it on the whiteboard. It seems like it's really 8 to 9 million versus 17 million. Their live audience was the 8 to 9 million. We're gonna see how Paramount, bro. It's how Paramount announces this thing. Is Paramount? Just let Paramount come out and say it. Dana hasn't said it. Right? They're not. UFC is not back, dude. I don't like. That's why I don't believe it, bro. I do not believe something this big is being announced by all the little fish around the pond. It just, to me, it makes no sense. The boxing don't do that. Jake Paul doesn't do. He doesn't call an influencer and go, "Hey, I got some numbers for you. I want you to release these." He comes out and says it because it's his success, right? And this would be major success for Dana. He would be rubbing this in everybody's face if these numbers were really like that, man. So I'm gonna hold off. If they are true, I don't know, bro, because you guys Talked a lot of shit about Ronda Rousey and Karina Carano. Jesus, what's her first name? Am I close to the first one?
Gina is her first name.
Not close at all.
Just Ronda and Gina.
Yeah. Gina, damn it. I'm gonna stick with Gina. Carano. I don't know why. 40 years. Sorry, lady. I still can't remember your name. But freaking, they talked a lot of mess about the whole card, right? It was has-beens. It was this. Bro, the UFC brought their two number one hitters. You don't really get any bigger than what they had on that card. I mean, Conor McGregor's return is cool on paper. It might not be that cool when he gets in the ring. Matter of fact, the last time I checked, I believe he was a fucking underdog against Holloway when they opened up.
Oh shit! I didn't even check that. No kidding. Oh, yeah. that would make sense. That would make sense. Actually,
I know, bro. I was like, wow, what a comeback! And you're the underdog.
Yeah, like you're coming back. Yay! We can't think you win, but yay, that'll give us some numbers.
We don't think you're gonna do it, but yeah. Go ahead, sure. So,
but would Ronda and Jake respond to these kinds of numbers like the way they did if they weren't legit? And again, we don't know if they are yet, but wouldn't they, if they suspect there is bullshit and some sort of finagling of the numbers? I just made that word up, but like fucking around with the numbers, some sort of fuckery. Wouldn't that be the first thing that at least Jake be like, yo, I'm calling bullshit on that, or at least Ronda, but more so Jake. But the fact that they like, we still beat you guys, it's almost giving that number legitimacy.
I would almost say, Miguel, as long as I won, I don't care what the decision is. and Jake Paul won. And what I seen was Jake Paul was talking shit. He was like, "I'm the #1
Well,
MMA
but not
promoter."
calling out, like not calling bullshit, just saying, haha, we're still better. But like, haha, we're still better, but we don't even know what the real number is. That
He
was my thing.
he hasn't posted their 17 million one. He only posted their 8 million one. I don't know if you've seen that on MVP when they do the when they did the side by side. I believe he only posts their live feed one. We're not doing what we had on Monday, Joe Rogan.
Or next week.
Hey, bro, that sounded terrible. Like he was like, "Yeah, did you guys see what we had by Monday?" Like, what the fuck? That's what we're doing now?
All right. So we'll see what more numbers, what other votes happen to be around that we haven't counted. As like, are we going to get a revote of this shit? Are we going to get a recount? Are we going to see what numbers are actually there? But yeah. So far, those are the numbers we're getting. Something is something. I guess we're getting closer. We're getting warmer to whatever the actual number is. Because last week didn't get any, huh?
Did you think that the 1.2 or whatever they got in Latin America was low?
I'm not sure if there is a market there. It seems significant considering, I mean, this, the Latino, I guess, to some degree was Tuporia, right? But I'm not sure. I don't know if if there's a market out there, because I'm trying to think of how many times they've gone to Latin America to host events. I mean, just to make sure I'm looking at it, Brazil is part of Latin America, is it not? Or am I tripping?
I was thinking you were missing that one. I was like, well, what about Alex Pereira? He's not Latin.
No. I mean, I guess that does count. Yes, Brazil is considered part of Latin America. So, yeah, I guess that definitely does, now in perspective, seems kind of low considering he was, I mean, on the verge of being, a 3-weight division champion, and ultimately didn't turn out that way. But yeah, I guess that does kind of seem low now. I mean, considering he was a co-main event on the fucking thing.
He was the and then they also had the young man. I know he's not from Mexico, but he comes out to the
Spanish.
Lopez. Yeah. So you know what I mean? And to be honest with you, where I was gonna go with that was I thought their market was bigger. The UFC made it seem like they were really making moves in Mexico. Mexico was turning, right? They were turning. And I was like, man, and I know it's the White House thing. I don't know if that's a turnoff to, other countries. It doesn't seem like it as we watch the World Cup. Got to say, right? No one's out there bashing our president. Just seems like all love right now from all countries. So I don't know if that's why they tuned out. But yeah, I was a little shocked on how low those numbers were. Because if they're lying to us, they're lying about those ones too, and that means no, I'm just fucking playing. That means those were under 1 million too. You guys know I'm just playing, but I expected a little bit more from the Latin America side because of the momentum it seemed like the MMA was having over there. And it was their 2 best stars. No one's really talking about how they lost both guys, man. They literally lost both guys in one night. What a fucking straight kidney punch, low blow. I don't know, to the UFC. They put this event on. They say they lost 60 million doing it, right? Dana's like, I'm never doing this shit again. And then to top it off, both of your stars get fucking waxed. One of them might never come back. I'm sorry. They're gonna have to be very careful with Tuporia.
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 That was a little bit harder. That was a little bit harder than Toronto.
Yeah. I just woke up, you guys. But anyways, they're gonna have to be real careful with him because he was a little bit more than humbled. Those leave that leaves that bad memory in you when you take a beating like that. I mean, the guy literally
the doubt that now will be in his head will be unlike now. As is often said, he's got lost his undefeated record, so he knows how to lose. How more likely is he to lose now, knowing that, like, oh fuck, well, I got the undefeated record anymore. Fuck it, I'm calling it a day.
Yeah, and I've already heard some of the guys say that he should probably look in doing that. It's a weird in the MMA world is starting to, come out like boxing, huh? Take one bad beat, and all of a sudden now maybe it's time to hang him
Well,
up.
I mean, even Gaethje said it himself. He did the same thing to Tony Ferguson. Once Ferguson was on a fucking 12-fight win streak. He was going to fight Khabib. They were trying to get that fight going, and for circumstances out of the fighter's control, they weren't able to get that fight going. And in the meantime, they threw in Justin. Justin beats the living piss out of Tony Ferguson, Kukui, and he's never the same again. Like that's the beginning. He broke that motherfucker. Like that dude was never the same. It looked like it happened again against Topuria.
Yeah. Alex has an out because of the head back behind the headshots. So he has a mental confidence booster there that it wasn't him. It was the hits behind the head. So I'm sure his next training will be all about that.
I'm even hearing from the Topuria side that they had food poisoning and God knows what the fuck other shit. Like I'm hearing that stuff. Whether again, it's just like third party, secondhand people telling me. So I'm like, oh, what is that? Is that what's going on here? I haven't heard directly from them, so I'm not gonna say that's what it is. But when I started hearing that kind of shit, it's like, yo, really? Is this the confidence booster you're trying to get?
He looked like he was gonna win the fight in the second round when he drops him with the body shots. I thought the fight was over at that moment. So I don't know. He looked fine, is I guess what I'm saying, for the first 6 or 7 minutes of the fight. It's not until that uppercut destroys his, I think it's his right eye first that starts bleeding. It's an uppercut that hurts him, and then the jabs literally destroy the left eye of his.
The rest of his face.
Yeah. I don't know. It looked like when his face started breaking down is when that fight turned.
But we'll see. We'll see what numbers we get. I guess what the final tally will be. According to this, it says next week. So I don't know if we'll have it by Sunday or not, because Sunday is the beginning of the week. We'll say by this time next week, or no, what's today? It's Monday. By our Wednesday show, this Wednesday, to at least give them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday during the week, I would say, to get that up there. I assume they'll have it by Monday. I don't know if we'll have it by Sunday, but I suspect that Monday, Tuesday, they'll have, I think. I suspect.
I wonder if someone's actually counting them.
Like Olympic boxing?
Yeah. Or like like, come on, dude. Like, it's not automatically counted when someone tunes in. There's not a total at the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, what countries are we talking about here? That like, 1, 2, let me start over again. Hold on. Don't interrupt me. Like, I gotta start over. It's like, so how many? 600, 7,000? Oh, fuck, never mind. Let's start over.
Tell them next week.
Yeah. yeah. Like, it just push back the deadline. We'll get it in at some point. All right. Anything else?
We've had the numbers to the World Cup games, like literally the next day.
Yeah, right. Like in real time, you can see it.
And they're in the billions. So it's pretty, it seems like a lot harder to count the billion than it does a million. But
well, let me ask you this: a lot of the World Cup games are on regular TV. Is that easier? Because considering streaming service to regular TV, maybe that's easier.
I don't know. They're still seeing what they're tuning. I mean, football, dude. You get the numbers from the NFL on Monday. The game's on Sunday. They literally used to put them in the newspaper the next day. You would see TV ratings: 3 million watched, 2 million watched, because that was like a thing against Raiders, Niners, right? They were even fucking. Going to war on I mean, you could argue about who was watching what, right? They have that in the sports page for us. So I'm just saying, like, I don't know, almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, a little sketch, I guess we can say.
It's just like our elections, bro. I'm telling you. We go to sleep with one person in the lead. We wake up and that lead is gone. Like, what?
We're going to tune in next week and be like, somehow the Netflix numbers went down. What the fuck? How did that happen? Like, I thought you guys were supposed to be counting yours. I don't know. Somehow the MVP card went down. What the fuck was that about? Like, I don't know what happened. It just seemed to go down. People were like retroactively withdrawing their views.
Because they've been doing this for a few years now, right? The overnight fucking surpassing. Now they even have a stat out there on the number ratio that Democrats that get votes overnight to Republicans. Bro, it's staggering for Democrats. it's like every single time. I don't know.
Yeah, like what a phenomenon. This is crazy, isn't it?
Do you know this thing has never helped a Republican in California? Fuck.
Not a single time in its history. Oh gosh.
It's
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But we'll see what numbers come up. At this point, we'll see what else is tallied to this and what else they're going to consider. They're going to throw in somebody else's fucking viewership and be like, "Oh, that counts." All right. So about that particular event, there was we talked about it last week. There was a lot of boxers there, right? Some Zuffa ones. One in particular, not a Zuffa boxer, but one Terence Crawford was present, and he decided to take a picture with the president, and apparently that wasn't good. He's I don't know, I don't remember if it's like shaking his hand or doing some sort of thing where basically like he says that he's a fan, right? Or Crawford is saying that the president is a fan, and there were a whole bunch of people like totally disowning Crawford, saying like, yeah, unfollow champ. Like, yo, do you know what else he's a fan of? What the hell? But man, people turn on him real fast. I'm gonna see if I can find that particular post. But boy, before we get into more Crawford, because we got a couple of topics here from Crawford, but damn, why are we like this, Andrew? God, this is why we can't have nice things. Stuff like this happens, and now immediately like, oh no, this guy's got to get canceled because of XYZ. Damn, why are we like that?
Yeah, like I said a little earlier, it's sad where we're at right now as far as in politics in this country. I was more upset of how Terence Crawford met the president. I mean, seriously, you guys, they shouldn't be that mad at him. He took it as a regular day. He's there in a t-shirt. He didn't get all dressed, and I don't care that it's probably a fucking $10,000 t-shirt. I really don't.
Right? It's just a t-shirt.
It was a t-shirt. I mean, and he didn't look like his hair was done that morning. You know what I mean? Like, out of the people that I seen there, he was the least impressive. So what are we mad about? He just showed up to, watch some fights. And he met the president. Look, I mean, I know a lot of people, they're still doing the Epstein thing, right? They're connecting Donald to that, and that's why they hate him, and they connect him to racism, and they connect him to raping women. I mean, the Democrats got a long list of things of why they hate Donald Trump. So he lost a bunch of Democrats that night. I don't know. Are they really the ones following Terence Crawford? Who knows? Maybe they are. I really don't know.
I was able to find the post. Terence Crawford stuns fans after posting picture with President Trump at the White House. In quotes, "Now we know your character." Okay, this is what Terence put as a caption on when he posted it on his social media account. Who knew? Or who would have? Oh man, this is how I know Terence did it. Who would have knew? Who would have known? How about that, Terence? That the president of the United States of America was a big fan of a kid from a small city called Omaha. And a lot of these fans is, damn well he didn't know you until, that night. Not it. This BS ain't it, bro. Now we know your character. This is not a flex you think it is. These are all the comments. Nothing to be proud of. Unfollow. Sorry, goat. Well, at least you recognize him as a goat, I suppose it's something. What else he's a fan of? Unfollow, Bud, WTF, what the fuck? So yeah, immediately people were bashing him for that. It's sad. And you know what? Like it sucks that becomes such an identity for people. It's like it's one thing when you are who you are and you have your beliefs and you whatever your morals, whatever. But when those we'll say the beliefs become your identity, when those beliefs get challenged, it's like an attack on you. You're like, oh, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So now when you see this and you see like, oh shit, now it feels like Crawford is attacking you because you don't have the same political points of views. The fact, and it sucks it's even happening in wrestling too, because Trump was involved in wrestling many years ago, and he kind of to some degree still is, but really more so years ago with the match with Vince McMahon, yada yada. This is of course before he became president. But point is that there are people, wrestlers, professional wrestlers who support Trump, and then other fellow wrestlers that they were cool with were like, no, I'm not talking to this guy anymore. It's like, yo, if this is their identity now, it's like, don't make it that. Don't fucking make it that. And I know they're going to have their reasons, but the fact that they're taking it to that degree, it's like this is exactly what they want to happen. This is exactly what they want to do is separate us, and falling into it is just a bad thing. So anyway, or at least in my opinion. But man, facing a lot of backlash, not deserved in my opinion. Whether you're a fan of Crawford or not, the dude has his, his right to whatever, to follow whomever he wants to. And I'm sure you're going to criticize the fuck out of him. People are going to criticize the shit out of him anyway, because why not? But yeah, it sucks that we're kind of in this position now that these mean people are backlashing for something like this.
Miguel, that the people that you're talking about there is a video online of two of their biggest party members being involved with Epstein. Like, not hearsay, not, someone gave a tip on a hotline.
Right.
There's a many of those. We're talking about solid videos. We're talking about, like, I don't even want to get into it. I'm so fucking over this shit. But, like, they have pictures of one of our presidents on the boat going with him to the island. He's on the boat.
He's like manning the fucking boat, crying out loud. He's got a damn captain's hat. Yeah, exactly. He's like, all right, matey, that direction.
We have not canceled any of that. Their biggest president stuck a cigar up a 19-year-old girl in the Oval Office. They had no problem with it. Okay? Like, believe me, no one cares about these guys anymore. What their say is all hot air now, dude.
Yeah.
The cat's out of the bag. Your side is just as guilty. Like, I get it. You think that man's guilty. I get it. But we know for a fact that you got some guilty members on your side, too. What have been canceled? Did they take the President Clinton's picture off of their wall of Hall of Fame presidents? Did they take Barack Obama's picture off of his wall for the Hall of Fame of president? Fuck, no, they don't. They don't even bring the shit up, dude. You don't even hear about the shit. Did you see the interview? Oh, man, I'm not going to say you want to talk politics. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. But there's definitely guilty members on both sides.
Sure.
Possibly. Right? And they don't ever seem to shine the light on theirs. They really don't. This is all about one man. It's the
syndrome. They call it the syndrome. It's just it's that damn hate syndrome that they have of him. It's like, I don't give a rat's ass what he does. Well, he took, he did XYZ. That was good. No. Fuck that. I don't give a rat's ass what he did. He's a bad person.
Yeah, no, that's exactly where this is at with him. And it's been like that for years. I mean, come on. Do you remember all the fake cases they tried to put out on this dude? Right? They raided the president's house, dog. Like, we had to watch the feds go into their house and find nothing.
Didn't they do that to, like, one of his golf courses too, or something like that? Right, some years ago.
Yes, and find it's all BS. It's all BS. It was me and my wife got into an argument over the midterms this year, or last month. I didn't want to go.
Yeah,
no. Why?
Dude, why? I don't fucking blame you, dude. I don't fucking blame you.
So overnight, I can watch someone get 200,000 votes out of a fucking closet, and now the other person's winning? It happened overnight. It wasn't when everybody was up, we were not having those results. Then we went to sleep. Oh, and the fucking tooth fairy came and dropped something under a pillow.
Is that what tooth fairies, even the tooth fairies are political now? It's like, let's go ahead and bring all these fucking votes.
Santa Claus brings a bag of fucking votes now.
It's like, Mommy, I lost a tooth. I gotta put it on my pillow. No, sweetheart, you go put it into this voting poll. That's where you gotta put it, because there's where the tooth fairy goes to give you votes. Like,
and it literally happened again. I feel sorry. I was like, I'm sorry, babe. Sorry that happened to you. Could have told you that going in.
Yeah. Could have, should have, would you? But on the topic of Terrence Crawford, Andrew, we kind of got a little bit of what we wanted. I mean, I'll say we, but you in particular, because you wanted a response from one Terrence Crawford, response to Conor McGregor, going as far to post a post on his social media. I'm better off left alone. Don't make me have to show you why.
Hey, you know what's sad too, Miguel?
Yes.
Now that I have said that about the two other presidents, do you know how many listeners are like, he's racist? This motherfucker must be racist. He must be one of them white Donald Trump MAGA dudes. Swear to God, bro. Swear to God. You know that.
I mean, I'm sure they're already pushing you in that direction because you're a dude. That in and of itself, you're already falling. In their eyes, they're already pushing you in that direction because you're a guy. Just that alone.
And then claim white, I became a white guy when I said that.
Yeah. They're like, we knew that Lapichet last name is white. Exactly. At least I can get away with it with my fucking, soap opera last name. But you are correct. Let's hope we're wrong. But
you're all, I hate you now, Andrew. No, just kidding.
Yeah, like no, fuck that guy. That's why we listen to these fucking clowns. They don't even watch UFC. No. But Terence Crawford kind of sort of had a response. Now, a response to some degree is something, but man, leaves a lot to be desired. I kind of didn't like it. I was hoping maybe he'd come up a little stronger. I mean, we did hear Conor McGregor basically lose his damn voice. You see the vein pop out of his neck when he's calling Crawford out, talking about, we gave you this offer, 2-fight deal, $200 million, one in a boxing ring, one in the octagon. And he basically was, radio silence from Terence Crawford up until recently, right? Let me go ahead and pull up this Facebook post that I saw here. It says, Bud Crawford with another cryptic warning. At this point, it feels like Bud is tired of hearing his name thrown around, like he still has something to prove. But there's a problem when you're the great. Fans will always want to see one more test out of you. Who should Crawford fight next? This is just a post saying that, but it's this cryptic message from Crawford saying, "I'm better off left alone. Don't make me have to show you why." We can assume that was aimed towards Conor, but Andrew, couldn't he have just fucking flat out said it? Yo, keep your mouth on keep my name out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gonna happen, so just leave me the fuck alone. But he throws this little cryptic message out here, like, oh, don't make me turn around this car, kids. Kind of like, oh, dude, just say it, homie.
Yeah, and what a wasted opportunity to try to get some extra change in your pocket. I mean, seriously, I would have came out with the higher number. Look, just don't do a Roy Jones and then at 45 or 55 come back and try to do MMA like how Roy. Roy tried to avoid like every big fight in his career, and then fucking you knock the guy out once, and then he takes on all comers. It was like he just needed to get over that hump of, I guess, of getting beat. You know what I'm saying? And then he was ready to fight the whole world basically. Don't do that for Terence. If you're gonna hit it while you're hot, hit it while you still have some prime in you. Mm-hmm. But no, it's and I think we're reaching there saying that was a get back to McGregor. I was like, I thought that was to Boots. I thought that was to Turkey maybe trying to get their fight together. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. He's trying to move the wheels on that. That phony ass skit that him and Boots did the other day. To me, I believe Terence has his eyes set on maybe returning to boxing. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's honestly, the money is so big. Look, you guys, Terence Crawford, we know only made about a little upwards of 50 million for Canelo, right? And they said that was his highest payday. The $100 million offer from Conor McGregor, serious money for a fighter like Terence Crawford. I know in boxing we don't think 100 million is a lot because of the heavyweights, Floyd Mayweather, shit like that. But in all honestly, seriousness, that is a lot of money, 100 million per fight. You would think if Terence had any kind of desire to prove himself in a cage or against a fighter like McGregor, the 100 million would at least got him to speak on it directly. Like, that's a good start, but add another, 5 or another 0, whatever you want to do to get that money up. But I think the money was big enough that if he really wanted that fight, he would have started. That's a good starting point. Put it like that, is 100 million. Yeah.
All right. So, in your opinion, was this? I mean, you're saying it seemed like it was more towards Boots than the direct answer to Conor.
To Conor, yeah, because it's a weak answer to Conor. Like Conor's offering you 50 million more than you've ever made in your life. That's legit walk away money, right? If for a fighter like you, you know, for Terrence, that is a great. And then we're gonna add another 100 million for the boxing match. Like I said, if I was Terrence, I would have responded to try to get more money and to try to get my price so high that they don't even want to do the fight anyways, because I don't think the UFC would ever agree to anything like that.
But that wouldn't that be kind of the cheap way to go? Like it's like outpricing yourself. We talk a lot of crap about other boxers who generally do that. That'll look worse. No, that'd be like, yo, really? Like you're really outpricing yourself this much?
The money's there. The money is there for that fight, in my opinion. But it would be a staggering number that everyone would laugh at anyways. Even though, Miguel, if that fight was to really get put down, I think the promoters would see a demand that they have never seen before on the planet. I'm talking World Cup final game kind of demand, dog. Like that's how many just VIP celebrity people would want in on this fight. And I'm not saying like
$20,000 front row type shit.
Like I said, I think $1 million wouldn't be far off on this one. Conor McGregor versus Terrence Crawford in a cage, I think would warrant $1 million at the front row. Yes.
Damn. All right.
So I've been seeing girls on OnlyFans say they get paid. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, don't bring that up. You know, if there's a demand for it, whatever. You know, I hear people clown these guys all the time, and rightfully so. Don't be doing that shit, guys. But
and there was one that he's a basketball player. He paid millions. It's a basketball player, bro. Yeah, he's not even freaking. Yeah, he wasn't even that famous. Giving away millions of dollars, dude.
And for what? For what? What do you? Yes. No, I'm just kidding. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like with a little fucking sticky note that says hi and then your name. Yeah. You know, it's like you don't even know if it's her asshole. It could be, you know, chatting with somebody in India for all you fucking know.
Oh yeah, didn't someone just get catfished by AI? Yeah, I think a celebrity that just happened to them. Yep.
A celebrity got?
Yeah, they've been sending money to a AI chick online. Yep.
Oh boy.
Yep.
How
so yeah, I mean,
jeez. or weak. I don't know what the fuck.
I believe the demand would be there for that type of fight. We are talking the VIPs globally, not just in America. Even though we can start with America, and I think the sport, dude, I believe the sports athletes' interest in this fight alone would put this ticket up. Because, bro, whenever you go to these big fights, and I know the UFC gets this stuff too, because I see it. There's a lot of other athletes either there or talking about it, tweeting about it. You know what I mean? And these guys all make serious money. They're all young. They all think life isn't gonna, you know, never end, right? 500 grand, 700 grand for a ticket to that fight. I think they would drop that like hotcakes, bro. And that's not front row. I'm talking as you get into the deeper into the sections of the first floor or whatever. I still think they're dropping $500,000 for these seats.
Damn. Well, the demand will be there. The demand will be there. But so if we're gonna go that route, that the cryptic message wasn't for Conor, then we still don't have an answer. Then we still don't have an answer from him.
His silence was his answer, in my opinion. And also, he did go out on podcasts and say he didn't want to be kicked.
Yeah.
Right. So he kind of put it out there.
That was before this. That was before the Conor and
the money offer.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully that changes his mind. But I mean, he has one out there and already said he didn't want any part of the cage, which is sad. But he's not the guy that I'm looking for. Then that's not the guy that I want Dana White. Even though Dana should now pay him as much as they want, because we know he has a fear, right? So that's someone you might want to put some money into to see if one of your guys can beat him. But yeah, he's not the one that I'm, you know, if Terrence Crawford signs a fight with McGregor, I'm not going to have a lot of confidence going into that fight. Put it that way.
That's going to be part of like the UFC countdown. It's just that him like, I don't want to get kicked in the leg, kick the leg. It'll echo and stuff. That'll be part of the thing, part of the promotion. Lord. All right. Anything else we want to add that before we go on to the next topic?
No, sir.
All right. All right. So we go from a funny topic to not so funny topic. Oh boy. I'm not sure what to think about this one because trust me, I've had mixed feelings about it. Turki Al-Sheikh. has recently come out and said that one of the things that he wants to do is get everybody together talking about the promoters on the zone, including Dana White and Zufan and stuff, right? Um, this is a quote as to I know he wants to do it in general, but I think now there's a little bit of a time window for this. He says, I will do my best to do a meeting soon between my brothers Dana White, Nick Khan, Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn, and my partners. He didn't mention Oscar, but regardless, I'm sure he was meant to say it. To make peace and revolution for boxing. I hope I succeed and boxing fans see some white smoke rise from the chimney. I want to do it before losing my memory. I'm afraid in 2028 or 2029, I'll forget my name. So reading that, I'm like, what? What the fuck? What the fuck is that about, right? Because that in and of itself is kind of a cryptic message, right? And it turns out, and I read this on this UK boxing group on Facebook, Turki Sheikh battles long-term cancer and a brain tumor. The Ring Magazine owner expects his condition to worsen over the next 2 to 3 years to the point where he will no longer be able to function. Man, it's bad enough when you have these kind of terminal diseases, but when it's like a slow downhill a decline, and some of the things like I see people with I forget what that disease is called. I think it's Lou Gehrig's disease, where like they start just basically becoming a vegetable, but like one bit at a time. Oh man, I can't imagine what's in your mind at that moment when you're like, shit, this is just going to get worse and worse and worse to where I won't be able to move. This isn't that, but it's still a brain tumor, which is serious as shit, and long-term cancer on top of that. It's sad. It's sad news, and it's unfortunate. We can't even begin to think about what could potentially happen after this, because right now we want to like tackle this, and hopefully it's something that he can beat. I mean, I'm sure he's got the finances to try to get the best medication possible to try to combat this the best he can, and maybe slow down the progression, because this kinds of stuff, these kind of illnesses, it's grim. It's a grim reality that they're headed towards. But Andrew, when you first read this, and that first quote of his that he talked about, like he'll no longer remember stuff. I didn't get that at first until I read everything else afterwards. Man, what do you make of this? I mean, it's sad news, but I mean, he's still kind of. It looks like he wants to make peace with everybody, because of the little time, at least up here cognitively, that he has left. But what do we make of this?
Well, it's a sad news coming out from Riyadh about Turkey. Look, we've seen him be a little bit quieter about boxing, about the future of boxing here recently. I kept bringing that up, thinking that it had something to do with the bleeding of money, and now we hear that he has probably what sounded like a very serious medical condition that's not going to end in the best way, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said nothing about surgery, or it said nothing about I got to take a break. We need to remove this and come back. It almost, whenever you got a tumor in the brain, it's very sad because it's where the tumor is growing. That's where what is. If the doctors can go in, they might have. If we go in, you're going to be a vegetable. One slip of the fucking knife and it's over for you. Yeah. So it might be one of those situations. It's just sad. Prayers to Turkey that everything heals, gets a miracle out there. Yes, he talked about making peace, but right now, if look, business goes on, right? Mm-hmm. That's what sucks, is that we're all just a number, and we get replaced immediately when we get checked out of this earth. If it's terminal, if in 2 years they know for a fact that he will not be remembering his name, they almost have to get his replacement, his apprentice, on the job now.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It is, and I guess this is kind of maybe just going down the route of conspiracy. When I hear how much Oh, and by the way, I think this has been known for a little bit. I don't know who has been able to say it necessarily, but the way the different posts that I've seen on social media, it seemed as though this was kind of sort of people knowing about it, just they weren't able to say anything. So I kind of wonder when I hear guys like Eddie Hearn say well, if he asked me to like clean his shoes, I totally do it. Do you think he kind of knew, like, let me go ahead and kind of what's the word, mooch off this dude right here, so when the time comes, like maybe I can be the next dude in line, kind of thing, like already setting up the checker, steps to get in good grace now, so when the inevitable does happen, he's in a much better position. Eddie, I'm talking about.
Eddie, yeah, I don't know if the Prince is looking for an Eddie Hearn. I think he's looking for another Turki Ali Sheik, right? It seems like Turki did a lot more for this man than just his boxing side or business side of it. So no, I don't think it's Eddie. I don't think it's going to be anybody outside of Saudi Arabia. I think Miguel, before anyone moves forward with Zuffa, with Turki Zuffa, Dana Zuffa, I don't give a shit. Before anyone moves forward with Zuffa, you might want to have a sit down with Turki about, okay, so when you stop signing the checks, who's signing the checks? It sucks I have to ask you this, but we need to know, because you're talking about 2 years. My kid's only going to be 28, 29. Like, that's dead in his prime. Are you telling me you're leaving me to that fucking douchebag? And point to Dana's picture. Because if you're leaving me with just him as the guy who's now signing these $16 million checks that he hates to sign, no, I'm good. I'm out. You got to remember, he's the safe blanket right now. I think everyone's talking to these guys because they know there's like a big jackpot at the end of this. They're almost like a video game slot machine right now. Have you ever played the video game slot machines and how there's like 7,000 ways of winning? You can get bonuses. You win the regular way. That's messing with Turki. You can get paid in so many ways through Zuffa boxing right now. I think that's why guys are interested. They want to have a sit down. Well, what Zuffa are we talking about here? Without that, no, dude, I'm not in. And I think Zuffa's in some serious troubles if Turki Ali Sheik isn't the real face of that company. Because anyone who knows boxing knows that it's Turki Ali Sheik who's the face of Zuffa. So we're gonna move forward. Look, I seen Turki say on there that he was gonna be a little bit more aggressive with the fights that he wants. Did you hear about the AJ Tyson? Now all of a sudden he's gonna make that decision.
That sounds vaguely familiar, but I'm not, because I've seen so many quotes of his.
He's saying he's gonna make the decision soon. He has not decided yet where he's going to put that fight, but clearly laying down the law now, as the wolf is definitely exposing himself in the hen house right now, because now the fucking clock is ticking, right? No more time playing games. He might even start pulling out, you know this piece of paper you signed? You didn't see page 540 said, you're my bitch. All of you guys own everybody. And everyone's like, fuck. But it clearly seems like he was going to push the issue a little bit harder, that he's calling the shots here because he doesn't have too many left. That might be hard to work with.
What do you mean that might be hard to work with?
A man who wants to call the shots, doesn't have a lot of time. He might be thinking 100%, right? He's thinking more on a faster clock.
I see. All right. Definitely sad news. Now, I won't. I'm not gonna try to kick a man while he's down by any stretch. But we've heard some stuff about this guy.
Yeah,
we've heard a lot of stuff about this guy. And when I first read this, no pun intended, but the first thing that came to mind was like, yo, this guy's gonna get everything that has coming to him from the shit that he's been doing or had done before. Allegedly, right? Because we don't know for sure if he did it. But when I read stuff like that, I'm like, man, life has a way of fucking coming and collecting on your ass. Whether or not he actually did the stuff that we have heard, things going back to like 2017, 2018, is one thing, right? That's all speculation, I guess. But you don't want life to come and bite you in the ass like this, right? I mean, we don't want to see this kind of news. We want to see him, if he did the stuff that he did, pay in another way, not necessarily in this fashion where his life is on the line. But sad news. We'll see how this progresses because he did say 2 or 3 years. We're talking 2029, around there. I know that part of the Riyadh season was their big 2030 thing that they were trying to get as much people over to Saudi Arabia, right? Sad to say that he might not see that. He might not be up here, right? To be able to see what he started and what could potentially be the Riyadh, the plan, I guess, Riyadh season 2030 that they were trying to do with Formula One and boxing and WWE and all that stuff. Sad that he might not be able to be there mentally to be able to enjoy what he did to get to that, but them's the breaks. That's how life is. I guess we'll keep an eye on what news surfaces regarding this and his condition, and whether or not he's going to try to maybe go the medical route and see if he can do something about it to maybe delay the inevitable, or maybe I want to say cure it, because obviously there's no cure for the cancer part, but maybe the tumor part, something that they can do there. Let's hope he can, I guess, for the time being. But we'll keep you updated. Let's see what comes from this. Damn. All right. So this other story, I kind of wanted to pack these, or I guess pair them together, because I have some concerns here. I'm hearing a lot of stuff from from reading about Floyd Mayweather, the issues that he's having, the money issues, obviously. I've heard directly from Dan Rafael that he took an advance from the people that were controlling or going to get the Manny fight going and the Tyson fight going. 40 or four, was it $4 million? I forgot the amount.
It was over four.
It was over $4 million. So he has no choice but to, well, either pay the money back, which I know chances are he won't, or go through with those promises, which was these fights coming up. The DAZN app has removed Floyd's next fight with the Greek kickboxer that's going to take place, or supposed to, at least this Saturday. It's literally fight week for that. I have yet to see any sort of like promotion for it or anything like that, but this is my thing on the subject of dark stuff. Floyd's fall from grace has been crazy due to the astronomical amount of money that he blew through, right? That's fucking crazy that he's in this position. And we've talked about it. He's never, well, we don't know if he ever will get, but right now he's not like our broke, right? He's just his own definition of broke, which I'm sure there's still plenty of money there, but he's still in the red, is what I'm saying. I'm concerned that this dude might do himself in. Like, that's how big of a fall from grace this is. Like, when I hear one thing after another, I'm thinking, yo, somebody needs to like put this dude on suicide watch, man. Like, we need to look at fucking Floyd carefully, because this shit is bad, and who knows what he's got a lot of yes people around him, right? And that's one of the reasons why he's in the situation that he is, because very few people have been able to say like, yo, no, this is a bad idea, don't do it. But he goes and proceeds anyway. I don't know. When I read every new thing about Floyd, I'm like, damn, I don't know how much longer this dude has. Like, up here, you can only keep it together for so long before you just lose all hope and take a permanent solution to problems that may or may not be, resolved, or I guess able to be resolved, which we presume he can, right? But hopefully it doesn't go that route. But am I jumping the gun here, Andrew? Am I thinking like, yo, we need to take a close look at this fool and keep an eye on him, because this fall from grace has been fucking crazy?
Well, no, I mean, obviously the guy's had a big time fall from grace. The only thing is he hasn't given us any signs that he might hurt himself. So there's nothing we can do about it, right? Floyd's not a 20-year-old man. He's damn near a 50-year-old man. He's a grandfather. He's smarter than all of us. He's told us that many times.
Right.
So I think Floyd is. Look, you're absolutely right on the fact that he's a boxer with an ego that never liked losing, was actually scared of losing, is what we heard from many close people to him. This is a tremendous loss, and it will be affecting him mentally. It has to be affecting him mentally. So you are absolutely right about what your concerns are. The only problem is we don't have a reason to go in there and be like, hey, Floyd, we're going to take all your knives and ropes out of your house. Right. So they can't do anything about it. Floyd's a big boy who got himself into his own trouble with many people close to him that were trying to help him. Those three guys that he hated on HBO used to talk about his spending habits and how they were bad. I'm sure Lampley has told this young man a few times in his 20s, slow it down, invest, make sure you're doing your own. I'm sure those conversations were told to Floyd many times by people around him, bro. So I'd like the teachers to tell me, you're going to want to learn this. You're going to need this one day. You might have to pronounce Gina Carano's name one day, Andrew.
Right. Andrew, it's Tuporia. Get it right now. Make sure to enunciate that little accent now.
Even she's in my head right now as I'm talking about Floyd. I know exactly what Floyd's going through. One time I was practicing my signature in class, and the teacher seen it, and she was like, "What are you doing? You're not writing down what I'm putting on the board." I said, "I'm gonna be the champ." Like an asshole. I wonder if she looks me up. Did he ever become the champ? Nope. What an asshole.
You should put it on your Facebook, like champ of ACs, champ of HVAC.
Hey, I swear I've always been complimented on my signature too. Whenever I sign, like, you guys don't even know, man. Fuck.
Hey, that's something to be proud of, because my signature is crap.
I was supposed to be doing notes. I thought I was gonna be the WB. I thought I was gonna be signing gloves, Miguel.
signing fucking 8x10s, glossy 8x10s of you, right? With your pose, with your Ring Magazine belt. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be signing Ring Magazine covers. The fuck you talking about? I don't have to learn a squared plus b squared plus c squared.
What are you even teaching us?
Yeah, I know.
What class am I in? I don't even know what class I'm in.
For real. It's like, hold on, what the subject is this? Where am I? I should be in the gym. What the fuck's going on? I shouldn't be here listening to your ass tell me about calculations here. Well, I mean, yeah, no, I get what you're saying, and I agree, because really a lot of this was on him. But I just, I thought about the same thing about Mike Tyson at some point too. Like, there was times where he was going through some shit. I'm like, yo, and Mike Tyson's a little bit more of an erratic, or at least was erratic person, and kind of unpredictable, right? Far more than Floyd. So I guess you're right there. He hasn't given us any indication yet, but sometimes I wonder, like, if the stuff that's happening with the IRS and he has it being locked up. Well, I start to think, and granted, this is this is a stretch, but Edwin Valerio, right? Valerio, like that, he went through some shit. Obviously, it's different, but home dude does himself in jail. I think about that. I'm like, oh fuck. I wonder if when he's in jail, he's like, shit, I'm fucked here for a certain amount of time because of all this money that I owe. Now I'm checking out. Again, there's nothing that he's shown to give us that idea, but that comes to mind because it's like. I can't even fathom how much money that is that he fucking went through, and for him to have had this crazy fall from grace, that's what makes me wonder. Like, man, this dude is gonna never be the same, and I wonder if he would much rather go out like that than to see the Roy Jones, getting knocked the fuck out by Enzo Macronelli, or what the fuck's name? I forgot what the fuck was that cruiserweight. But anyway, but seeing those guys not Enzo, I think it was his pops. But anyway, seeing those guys get knocked the fuck out and then go back in the ring and get knocked the fuck out again, and then I don't know if he's gonna want to go that route. And he's like, all right, well, at this point I'm just selling my name to get out of these financial situations, but my undefeated record, my O, is long gone, and I'm gonna basically have to look like a lot of the champs that fade over time. I just don't know if he wants to do that. I wonder if he wants to check out before he gets to that bad point in his life.
Well, I sure in the hell hope not. You're making this a real sad.
That just came to mind because when I read that his fight was removed from from the zone, I'm like, oh shit, is he even gonna go down? Oh man, watch out.
Well, I told you it probably wasn't going to go down, and
Hmm.
that was on courts. But obviously, there's a guy behind the scenes trying to stop this. The person that is suing him for the last stick up that he did that you're talking about.
Hmm.
Um, Look, who's watching these things anyways? Even if the zone was going to put this thing on their network, are there really PBC fans that even bought into the zone?
No.
Floyd fans, because Floyd kind of made the PBC. That's why I put their fan base on Floyd Mayweather's name. But I don't even see this thing moving anyways, moving the needle in boxing anyways, like many of his exhibition fights. I don't know where they're generating money, bro. When I look at the crowd doesn't look like they spent more than $400 to be inside that arena. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on in Floyd's life right now. He messed up walking away. He really did. He could have walked away for a year or so, did that whole thing, Sugar Ray Leonard thing, right? Retire, unretire, retire. He could have did that, came back and made some serious money with DAZN. He dropped the ball with not signing with DAZN. DAZN should have gave him one of those $300 million contracts that went to AJ and Canelo. Should have went to Floyd's retirement run, 3-4 fights, whatever he had with before he leaves. So he messed up on that, and now he messed up on not getting a hold of Turkey 2 years ago, and making a comeback under the Riyadh season. Because exactly that's probably who Riyadh needed to get the celebrities to go out there to make their boxing seem like it was A list. Would have been nice to have Floyd do a comeback out there. He missed that too, bro. I don't even like the fact. What do we say he is? He's 52 years old now.
No. Is he 52? No, he's not that. I
Bro,
thought
he's
he
in
was
his
about.
50s now.
Okay, hold on. Let me make
I could
sure.
have swore you just looked that up, and I was like, "Oh, dude, this dude's way too old." Like his comeback is past.
Oh, okay. Hold on. He's 49.
Ah, who's
He's on.
52? I thought it
Uh,
was Floyd. All right, never mind.
but he will be February. He'll be 50. So he's on the verge of
Ah,
turning 50. Halfway there.
I guess that's still bad. He's gonna be 50, but whatever. He's old. He's old, man. He seems like old news. What he's just it's over. And I think I said this when you said his age the last time.
Mm.
It's not looking good for Mayweather right now. Why he's protecting that? Oh, because bro, seriously, like he doesn't make a lot of money. He's not Muhammad Ali, so why he keeps calling himself the GOAT and all this shit? No one even recognizes him like that outside of the ring anymore. Like the guy literally lost his mojo 2 years out of the ring, where Ali was called the GOAT his whole life. You know what I'm saying? The
Mhm.
greatest. That's never going to be Floyd. So why are we protecting the O? Why didn't we sell the O? It's and that doesn't even mean he's gonna lose. People, I'm not saying to go fix the fight. And I know you guys see that I'm dark as shit now. My fucking light just went out on me.
Whoops.
Yeah, I'm over here tapping it and like whatever. Yeah, I need a new light. So, but yeah, Floyd fucked this whole thing up at the end here. He had way too much money. He was spending too much. He wasn't using his calculator. We always joked about the calculator
Mhm.
to count the views. He definitely wasn't using it when he was making these purchases, though. And I don't know who ripped him off and who didn't, but I know they didn't rip him off for more money than he was fucking splurging at the times that he was spending all these trips around the world on private jets, carrying like 20 something people with you. None of them have a fucking job. You know what I'm saying? You're the lifeline for everything around you. Um, it's sad. It's sad. I don't, I'm hoping he doesn't hurt himself. Because that would be just like a crazy ending to Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? That would definitely be a few documentaries in that story if that's how that ended. Um, but here we are. We all knew it was going to come this way, especially if you listened to one Fight Net Radio Lee Honish, we all knew it was going to end this way. You have to be kind of dumb to think the way he was spending his money wasn't going to fucking end. I just didn't have the timeline of fucking what, 5-7 years after retirement, you would be flat this broke. I'm not going to say flat broke, but he's broke enough to where he's probably going to be a regular rich person when he was one of the elites. right now his neighbor's just some guy that owns a business, you know what I mean? He's real successful too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just totally different where the level of rich he's at. He's probably in a gated community rich still.
Right. Still a fancy house.
Yeah.
I saw this post on X. This is an older video because you can tell he kind of looks a little bit younger, and he there was a while where he like he had like facial hair, right? He kind of got some implants, right? Hair plugs to like grow a beard. So by this point in this video, he had a goatee. So it was after that time, is what I'm trying to say, relatively recent. This particular poster posted on X saying, I think his money problem started years ago. There is no other explanation why he was on some random UK channel trying to promote Windows sales. If you guys haven't seen this already, basically he's on this commercial for lovewindows.co.uk, which is some website over there in the UK, essentially selling Windows, special kind of Windows, I suppose, like different window panes or tinted. I don't know what the case may be, but it's the most like obscure commercial you'll ever fucking see, and him selling you on these windows, and you're like, what the hell? Like, you rarely hear Floyd talk about anything other than himself, but here he is selling you a house windows. It's just weird. When I see this, I was like, what the hell? Like, any size, 15-year guarantee, yada yada. He sounds like a salesman, which I guess in this commercial he is, but this was several years back already, so you can imagine that I don't know how freaking lost the UK customer was when they saw this. Like, is that fucking Floyd? Is he selling fucking Windows? What the hell is this about? I've even seen some bag giveaways. Yeah, let me go ahead and check this out. Boxing and Barbecue. This is the X account. Floyd Mayweather is now having giveaways. He's giving away stuff. I mean, I guess I don't know how he makes money off of this, but it's like sales of like autographed gloves, stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure what other stuff, but it's like we're at this point where he's just like some sort of furniture salesman, and it's like everything's got to go, right? That's essentially what this is, and we would not have thought with the amount of money that Floyd has made that he would ever be doing anything like this. If he's gonna sell anything, it would be that right? That would make sense.
Do you remember Lee found that commercial when it was being aired?
Oh no, I didn't know that.
He had it in the back. It was our backdrop for that show that day. Yep. He put that out there, and he knew on that moment, dude. And he's like, there has to be something wrong with Floyd's money. He's not telling us here in America, but what's he doing out here in the UK? And yeah, he had that commercial, eh? Yep. Shout out to Lee.
Oh boy. So Floyd in quite the pickle. His back up against the wall here. We'll see what happens this weekend, whether or not that fight goes down, because we've even heard, his passport being taken, right? He won't even be able to fly over there. I'm not sure if he's already over there, what the time difference is. It is, after all, just an exhibition, as I understand it, so it is not going to be anything major. So maybe he's just going to phone it in and, show up, just collect his paycheck, go a few rounds, and then come back here. I don't know, but it's definitely very telling and kind of alarming when DAZN pulls it from. And here's the thing: I don't know if any of Floyd's previous exhibition fights were on DAZN. They were on some obscure pay-per-view channel, but I don't remember them ever being on DAZN until I saw this. So this one fight, I guess, now gets pulled from it. Maybe this was a way that maybe DAZN was going to get more people to watch, and now not so much.
Yeah, who knew? I really don't know what they were thinking with putting this on there. They weren't going to get too many hits. I don't think Floyd moves the needle on exhibitions anymore. We've been there, done that, and really, you're a grandpa now. You fucking blew it. He better beg that people tune in to watch Manny beat him. And if I was Floyd, I don't know, man. I don't know. It might be time to go pick that round that you want to lay down in.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean,
he won't be betting on himself to win this time. He'll be betting on himself on what round to go down this time.
right, exactly.
The casinos are gonna be like, you see those 3 guys that came in with, oh, I guess that ain't 5 million. Oh, and you know what? That's what my wife brought up, dude. We're on the way to Reno, and we're listening to the show, and she fucking said, "What happened to his bag?" And me and you both missed that, bro. When we were clowning him about the check writing, what happened to his bag? 24/7, dude. Didn't Floyd used to walk around with 200,000 on him?
Oh yeah.
What
yeah. Why didn't he
to the
have
bag?
that? Right.
If I was a jeweler, it'd be like, "Hey, where's the bag? Wait a minute."
Right. Oh,
now he does this. The checkbook.
Right. It's like, oh, it's still here. It's like, those are all checkbooks, Floyd. I don't know if you realize those aren't fucking dollars. Like, no, it's all right. It's just as good as money. Just as good as money.
You know the jeweler got all fucking, ooh, the bag. What the fuck?
It's like those are IOUs.
I was like, hey, pretty good, babe. That you hit that one right on the head. We missed that one. Where was the bag?
Right, that he carries around with him, and I want to say I might have even seen him carry that shit, because he would carry, back in the day, I'm talking like 05, I think it was, walking around, because he lives here in Vegas, so I see him at the mall. I see him at like the Caesar's Palace Mall, walking around with a fucking entourage and shit, and it's just like, damn, this fucker, and he's got himself a little backpack there, right, a satchel or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah. What is the look on the fucking jeweler's face when he doesn't see it, like, where's that bag, Floyd? Where's that bag? Don't worry about the bag. I got something better.
I got something better.
Oh boy. Anything else you want to add to this Floyd situation before we move on to the next topic?
Nope.
Fair enough. This next one here is, and look, this, I know we try not to respond to rumors because we don't know, but you know, when they give out these little breadcrumb teasers, sometimes we bite. All right, let me go ahead and read this here. Teofimo Lopez's manager, Keith Connolly, teases a major announcement, calls it gigantic. This was reported on Boxing Scene. Let me go ahead and read some of his quotes here. He says, "I'm not going to say anything yet." Well, thanks so much for that. But there will be big news probably next week dropping on Teofimo Lopez, right, regarding him. He says, I think it's going to blow everybody away. All right. He goes on to say, let's wait a week and a half. Okay. So he goes from a week to a week and a half. There's going to be gigantic news. Like I said, it's going to blow everybody's dick off. No, I didn't say that. But he said, I'll blow everybody away. The move we're making coming off of Shakur Stevenson fight, and it's all positive things. It's not a bad announcement. Nobody said it was. Relax. It's an amazing announcement, and you'll hear something next week. Okay, so now we're back to next week. So whatever this announcement is, of course, everyone tends to lean towards him possibly a Teofimo signing with Zuffa, because people were thinking he was going to go in that direction anyway, and that has been the rumors swirling around the boxing circle for quite some time. But after seeing the way Dana and somebody else, I forgot who else from Zuffa, basically completely
the Hunter guy. It was the Hunter.
Oh, okay, Hunter Campbell Hunter, I forget his name. Essentially ignore Teofimo Lopez not shaking his hand, right? And even Teofimo was like, well, fucking hell. I doubt that it's going to be a Zuffa signing unless Teofimo tucked his tail and asked for something. I don't think he'll go that route. I don't think, Teofimo's a proud man. At least he can be like, no, fuck these guys. They're going to treat me like that. Hell no, I'm out of here. I'm not going to go sign with these motherfuckers. So I would have to assume that that's not that. What it could be is anyone's guess. But Andrew, what do you make of this this little teaser that there's going to be some big news? What could possibly be this big news?
The big news could be as small as him just fighting again, bro. Like, how these guys always overdo their announcements, try and make it sound all big, and then it's a return to Top Rank to fight Sandy Martin in a rematch. So yeah. who knows what the announcement is. I don't got a lot of faith that it's if it's a Zuffa signing, cool. He seems like he's at that level now, to be honest with you. I don't really see it, Teofimo's been going a lot off of his name for a while here. A lot of his big fights recently, he's lost. He hasn't looked good. A few fights he had showcases. He's asking his dad if he still belongs there. He seemed like he was on the downside here. I gave him one shot with the Stevenson fight because never expected Stevenson to change up his game plan. But it seemed like Stevenson knew something that I didn't. Obviously, he knew Lopez from a long time back and knew he had his ticket. Lopez did not look good in that fight. He hasn't looked good in some of his recent fights. So, I mean, he's not a $16 million guy. His name doesn't move any needle in the Latin community in America. I really think they dropped the ball when they got off of the American Dream nickname. Because he didn't have a fan base, at least they were trying to capture America, which will celebrate anyone as long as you're celebrating the flag, right? So I thought they really dropped the ball when they moved off of that nickname because his fan base just was not there. The guy had great wins. He was young. He was exciting, but no one was tuning in. That's not going to change even if you put Zuffa behind him. It'd be a waste of money. It really would at this point. I don't know. What are you going to sell out, dude? His comeback fight? and then him might not even showing up because he's just one of those guys. Sometimes he doesn't show up for these little fights, man. Mentally.
Sure.
I think his dad is over there thinking about partying more than he's thinking about the opponent sometimes. Maybe that's why they don't look as good as when they have their back on the wall. And they even though against Shakur, he didn't even look good with his back on the wall. But you hear what I'm saying. It just seems like somebody's missing the ball on those little fights. I don't even know if I could trust him on a comeback fight right now.
My guess is he's going to move up to welterweight, which I think he already said, right? So that's going to be like part of the announcement. And what else? But there's some sort of like fight announcement. I don't think it's going to be Zuffa, but I have to assume it's going to be some sort of fight announcement at welterweight. Maybe we finally get to see the Devin fight. Maybe it has to be something major like that. Maybe even it's Ryan. I don't think so, but I'm just throwing it out there because according to how he's making it seem, it's supposed to be something that's huge. It's going to blow everybody away. I can't imagine something like that would be, oh yeah, he's coming back and he's fighting Jojo Diaz next week or some shit like that. It's like, obviously that's not going to go that direction. I have to assume it'd be bigger than that. Part of it will be him going up to welterweight, my guess. And then of course a fight announcement, but I'm not sure who he'd fight that will get us be like, oh hell yeah, fuck yeah, I'm down for something like this, especially after that fucking egg he laid against Shakur.
Well, let me ask you, him versus Garcia, would you tune in to that in Las Vegas? Would you go down to see that?
Would I go down to see it? What do you mean, like if
yeah, would you be interested in the Ryan Garcia fight?
Shit. I mean that I wouldn't not watch it. Like I would watch it. I don't think it moves the needle the way this dude's making it seem. I'm gonna watch it because I'm a degenerate fan. Of course I'm gonna watch it, but it most certainly isn't the kind that will give you the fucking butterflies. Like, oh shit, I'm so excited for this one. It won't do that. It won't move the needle like that. I don't think.
Yeah, that's a good name you brought out there, though, the Garcia one, because it does look like Garcia is still looking for an opponent. You see, Oscar is now saying that they might be in talks with Virgil Ortiz, right? So Lopez and his father would be smart. If they really didn't have any representation, they're out there just floating around. They would be smart to maybe hit Oscar up because Garcia is a cash cow. He can give you a raise, just by putting your name on his contract on his fight. And maybe there's a $3 million offer there that Lopez and them didn't think they had. And Oscar's telling them, hey, you fight Garcia in Vegas, we'll give you $3 million. That's huge money for him on where he's at right now in his career. So to me, if it was, and I'm only saying it because all of a sudden now Garcia Ortiz is a thing, right? Oscar's out there throwing. So what happened to Conor Ben? You know what I mean? All of a sudden that fight's, going away, or we're just I don't know. We're bringing up new opponents now. So if I'm Lopez, they might have reached out to Oscar. I remember Oscar saying he wanted to work with Lopez, and that was this year. Oscar was saying he would work.
Oh shit! Did he say that really?
Yeah, he came out and said he would work with Lopez, and they should call him. And I think it was after the rumors started that he did not get signed with Zuffa. Yeah, I think
this is after the Shakur loss.
It has to be, yeah, because the Zuffa thing is after that.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say there's a soundbite of Oscar saying that, and Lopez does seem like he's in that area where somebody like Garcia and him could probably make some money. They could probably generate some money, because Garcia's fan base, all they really need are opponents, and they'll show up, right? Especially in a Las Vegas fight, an LA fight, something like that. There might be some interest there. It's a win for Ryan, but maybe that's the announcement. I like that name. I like that. I like that name more than I like him going back to DAZN or him working with Zuffa. I don't know, man. The way they dogged him out on that show.
Yeah, have a little pride. I mean, I know, pride is one of the 7 sins, right? That can have that, but boy, have a backbone. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let them make you look like that. And still, at the end of the day, you go sign with their fucking contract that are very coercive, I'm sure, but one-sided. I mean, but come on, don't have them, don't allow them to kind of fuck you over a second time by signing you to this fucking contract that even after dissing you like that, you still come running to them.
And I just think if there was any hope that he was going to sign with Dana, him and that Hunter wouldn't have responded to him that way. They would have been like, hey, how's it going? Play the role until they know it's a confirmed no. You know what I mean? But the way that interaction was, it was almost like the deal was off the table at that moment.
Yeah, they did him hard.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, and it was very, and it's petty. And this is not anything new from Dana White. He's a petty motherfucker. Like, that dude is very vindictive. If something goes wrong, he will disown you. He'll completely forget about you, and he'll talk shit about you. Basically, if things don't go the way, just listen to how he talks about Fedor after he couldn't sign him to the UFC because of their demands. He's like, this guy's fucking crazy, fucking Russians, yada yada, going off the book. The second it doesn't go well, he will throw you under the bus so bad, and that was pretty obvious there when the way they dissed Teofimo.
Hey, and did you see? So with Dana going to that MMA fight, did you see he struck a deal with that? Is that a gambling website that was putting that on?
Which
the UFC just signed, I think, with like a
Kalshi or something? Is that?
Oh no, I thought it was something bet. I think they signed with another one, but yeah, everyone was talking shit about how can a company with all these fixed fight rumors, and you guys come out and say now you're working for a fucking gambling site? Like, that's kind of weird.
Let me see if I can find it here real quick, because I don't know what
it looked like it was the guys that threw that fight that Lopez and him were at.
UFC signed. Hold on, I want to see how new this is though. Signed a 5-year exclusive partnership with Bet365. The agreement, which replaced DraftKings as the official U.S. and Canadian betting sponsor, features broadcasts, integration like on-screen betting, tickers, dynamic fight odds, and same-game parlay features. Yeah, but this is. I mean, this is going back to like March, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, and it wasn't that. They were the same.
That?
No, they were the same guys that threw the fight with Lopez. I forget what I'm trying to see if I can see the podium that they were on.
What do you mean that threw the fight with Lopez?
The guys that threw that fucking, I don't know what you call those, that bullshit show that they were Ray J and all them dudes fighting.
Oh, the Misfits?
Yeah, it was whoever was throwing that fight. It seems like Dana has signed with them.
I found one from May. UFC has announced a new multi-year partnership with Georgian betting company Adrabet following up on the landmark agreement between UFC and prediction market platform Polymarket to be an exclusive prediction partner, market partner. The company has inked yet another international deal with Adjarabet, the #1 betting platform in the country of Georgia. That's what I'm finding.
Damn. They have a lot to do with gambling websites.
I mean, I guess it doesn't help that, what's his name? Dana White himself is a fucking gambler, quite the gambler himself. So
Yeah, no doubt. How has his pay come? With chips or real money?
I'm not kidding, right? It's like, all right, we're gonna give you casino credit. This is how you get paid. Like, go ahead and use this, and you get a free mug from Caesar's.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't do my homework good enough on that one. But yeah, they just signed it, dude. I'm telling you, it was the same company that put on that fight that him and Lopez are on. You even see the name on the bottom there.
Oh,
he signed with them, and everyone was talking shit like, because they're in the court case with the fucking fixed fights, it is not really a good look to now come out with a gambling site.
So I'm pulling up the specific that video so I can see what's on there. Rain bet.
There you go.
All right, let me see if I can pull up anything.
Yeah, pull up that one. But yeah, it was that. It was those. So I was like, damn, Dana's hella crooked. Hey, he goes there as a guest, comes out. It's either he went there as a guest, comes out fucking signing with the dude's company, or that was a part of the agreement when they signed. You right? Like, yeah, we're gonna sign you guys, but can you show up this weekend at one of my littler events just so we could get some clout? You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was something like that.
All right, yeah, May 25th, Dana White, reportedly signs the UFC to a rain bet after commentating on Rainbet's brand list 14 at UFC at UFC Apex. Oh yeah, that bullshit that took place at the UFC Apex, which is like celebrity MMA or something, whatever.
Yes.
That was.
Sorry, you guys. It took a long time to get there, but we got there.
I figure out who the hell that was, because I mean, every time I Google something, it's like, oh, somebody new. It's like DraftKings, okay. All this shit,
I know, huh?
And then of course I get like all the ads, like, oh, bet some so now you get. I'm like, no. I'm just trying to get a story. I ain't trying to fucking put bets on this bitch. Okay.
They really do have a lot of ties to gambling, though. That's kind of strange.
They sure do. Yeah, it's kind of sketch. Anything else we want to add to that before we on to the last story here of the show?
Nope.
All right. So you kind of touched on it earlier. Had to do with Oscar. It was a nice little teaser, nice little softball. Golden Boy. Oh, by the way, there were some fights on Saturday night on DAZN. As a matter of fact, even Friday night, but relatively uneventful. Some fights were okay, but really nothing to go right home about. However, before the main event, Oscar Collazo on the main event on that one. Oscar De La Hoya was being interviewed by Chris Mannix, and of course, Chris Mannix asked him a whole bunch of stuff about Floyd Schofield and whether or not we're actually going to get the fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. But the question in particular that he wanted to ask, oh, by the way, he did also ask him how close they are to actually making the Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn fight. Oscar essentially said anytime that there's any sort of talks and Zuffa gets involved, they make things much more complicated, much more difficult, and it's a real problem. So he's like, it doesn't seem like that we're any closer to that one. However, there was some good news that came out of that. According to this here, Oscar and Golden Boy, of course, and Virgil Ortiz closing on a resolution to avoid arbitration. All right. Virgil Ortiz's manager, oh boy, that guy, he's back, Rick Meridian, tells the Ring's Mike Coppinger that Ortiz and Golden Boy Promotions are nearing a resolution to avoid arbitration. Ortiz requested to be terminated from his promotional deal and sued for breach of contract earlier this year after the deal to fight Jaron Boots Ennis didn't materialize. Now, on that broadcast, Oscar De La Hoya went as far as to say that we are going to get Virgil Ortiz back in the ring this year. Now, it is also we're our midpoint here. We're rapidly approaching the 7th month of the year. So if they're going to make something happen, they kind of have to make something happen pretty fucking fast because we're for him to meet this before the end of the year type of fight that we can get from Ortiz. We can anticipate it's not going to be against one of the other top dogs, because obviously later on this month we have Zayas and Boots. Maybe I think maybe I'm wishful thinking with that, if they can try to get some sort of Fundora fight. I don't know, but I suspect they're going to give him some sort of gimme fight to kind of get any ring rust off and get his mojo back inside of the ring. But it sounds like somebody had to bend at the knee, right? I mean, if these guys were just Meridian and Golden Boy were going at it, and now we're rapidly approaching some sort of resolution. When the papers talk, at the end of the day, what we've heard of the times that they went to court, Oscar seemed to have won every single one of those times. It looks like we might have had him win again. Now, what kind of relationship is Oscar going to have with Ortiz after this? Like, Oscar kind of sort of still tries to view Ortiz as, this guy's still a really good guy. He's a good kid. He's just had a lot of bad people in his ear, almost giving them a pass to make sure that things still go smoothly afterwards. If that's the case, maybe that'll still work out. But when you get somebody like Ortiz, who, if it really was him, if it really came from him to want to split from Oscar, that's gonna be bad. Like, can you imagine that? Like, I want to quit, your job. Like, no, you can't quit. No, fuck, I'm taking this court. And then you lose, you're like, fuck. Now you gotta come into work the next day, clock in and see your boss. Like, that's right, motherfucker. Andrew, we excited that we're gonna get this Ortiz back in the ring before the end of the year?
Well, no, not if it's a showcase fight like so many of Ortiz's career. It seems like it's always a showcase. We need to get him back in rhythm. We need to get him back in the mojo. Like, the fuck, is he ever gonna, just get there? Look, they lost. I mean, I think it's clear as day, if they're going to arbitration, his manager was wrong on whatever the fuck he kept tweeting about Oscar being wrong about. Because look, if they had the upper hand, they're walking. They're walking right into Turki's office. They're signing the Zuffa deal, and they're moving on with life. That's where that was headed, was Meridian getting his fighter over to Zuffa. Now, if that's Turkey Zuffa, Dana Zuffa, I think we can agree that it was most likely going to be Turkey Zuffa. But whatever Zuffa he was going to, that's where they would be going, bro. These guys were going to pay him probably $8 million dollars more than Oscar was going to pay him, right? Like Conor Benn to Eddie Hearn. So the fact that it's not happening, all of a sudden they're going to be working together again. Clearly, I think Oscar was probably going to win that arbitration case, so they want to find an out. Now, about the future of their relationship, look, Oscar has the upper hand now. He just made a power move. His move worked, right? Checkmate. Now Ortiz kind of knows that his boss does know what he's fucking talking about. His boss does know the contract, does know the ins and outs of boxing, right? Where your manager, I don't know who the fuck this guy was. I'm glad he signs a lot of fighters and he sets a lot of dates. But did he really know your contract? Doesn't seem like it. From the very beginning, seems like he was taking L's, Mr. Undefeated too. Let's start with when this all started, the man was trying to undefeated he was, and how Oscar's undefeated in the boxing ring, but I'm undefeated outside of the ring, blah, blah, blah. And literally took like 3 or 4 L's in a row.
Yeah. It's like those are a few 10-8 rounds you got there, buddy. Like those are knockdowns. He goes as far as to post a video of Mike Coppinger reporting the news on I forget the name of the Max Kellerman's ring show on YouTube, and he's got the emoji of that dude with the monocle, like kind of like, what the fuck, like, look at this, like, are we still doing this? Are you still gonna like what's the word, deny, I guess, that they were doing this? Like, are we still in denial that you pretty much got your ass beat in fucking court, and now we're gonna have to go this direction? I've read, and here's the thing, I remember seeing him post something on his Instagram account, which is basically him recording the TV, right, the zone, and essentially it's the interview that I was talking about with Chris Mannix and Oscar De La Hoya, and he has this long like rant, which is like a caption on this particular thing here, and I don't think I understand what the fuck he's saying. It sounds like he's saying this is bad. What's happening with whatever resolution is taking place. And then by the end of the caption, it sounds like, hey, we're back. And I don't understand. Like, I can read this to you, but it's just long as fuck, and it's just weird the
No,
way he said it, huh?
no, we'll read it later. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll send it to you. But it's just so weird because it starts off by saying like, "Yo, this isn't good," and then by the end of it, it's saying like, "Oh, the king is back." You know, talking about Ortiz. I'm like, wait, I'm confused. I don't understand what it is he's trying to say here. But it just seems like he's still in that like, haha, good fight, Oscar Accord. Like, no, fool, you fucking lost.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to be Meridian right now in this situation. If I'm Ortiz and he really is pulling those kind of stunts where he's still acting as if there's a way they might be coming out of this ahead, I'm looking at termination. I'm looking at getting a new manager because obviously the guy doesn't have a clue, right? Like everyone's seeing it, bro. We're not winning this thing. I just lost the Boots fight. Boots is fighting Zayas. Both of them are about to be ranked over me. You got me in another fucking showcase fight. I don't know if that's what Ortiz wants, if that's what his big game plan is to try to get there and then drop yourself back down and then get there and then drop yourself down. But that's the fucking pattern we're on right now. Like every time we think you're about to get over the hump, you take 2 steps back is all I'm saying. You did it again because you are not going to step in with the unification match. You're going to step in with the fucking warm-up fight. And we've been here before. So I don't know who Ortiz is, what career he's really looking for. But if you are looking for a career that's going to establish some kind of resume, legacy, I don't, however you want to say it, you got to get your ass back in the ring and maybe get away from this Rick Meridian guy. He had a game plan. It did not work. Sometimes you got to take your fucking L's, dude. Like, I'd be looking real serious at. Matter of fact, if I'm the Ortiz family, I'm gonna look at all the posts from the very beginning. I'm dead serious, man, to see like how delusional really was he, right? Talking hella shit about your promoter, talking shit about what they've been doing, all to end up a year later, and you're still with who?
The guy who brought you to the dance.
Come on now, like. If I'm Oscar, I'm not asking for him to be fired, but it's definitely in my back pocket. I definitely have that card now. Like,
well, he said it before. He's like, I'm not working in. And realistically, at that time that Oscar said that, he must have not really realized that he also has other guys in the Golden Boy staple that are represented by Meridian. But besides them, that are already there. He said it at this point. I ain't working with that motherfucker any further. So I can imagine that any other guy that will. And it's almost like any fighter that's coming up, like, damn, I'm going to get blackballed if I associate myself with Meridian at this point. Like, let me make sure that I don't do that, so I have the opportunity to get signed with some of these big promoters, including Oscar, because that associating yourself or linking yourself with him before reaching that stage in your career where you sign with a big promoter, it's kind of putting a target on your back. It's like you're kind of blacklisting yourself. Seeing after this how public it was, I kind of have to assume that Virgil is going to go down that route of like distancing himself. Like, no, don't be talking on my behalf anymore, fool, because you're the one who's got us in this mess to begin with.
If Meridian was smart too, he would look at what the boxing world has done to Zuffa. And I'm talking Dana White Zuffa at this point, where you had the IBF strip them of their title. You've had them come out against Zuffa altogether. And now you had the WBO damn near block Zuffa from the Haney. The Haney, what fight was it? Haney and who?
And Shakur.
Stevenson, dude, that's huge, bro. That's huge. That's like they just told them your money's no good here. We know you have millions and we don't want it. Go fuck off. That's huge, bro. Props to the WBO for not selling out. You know what I'm saying? They're not looking for that quick dollar. They're looking for guys that believe in the belt, that want to defend the belt, that want years of fucking making money, not one night. Where a lot of these guys are trying to score that one night deal.
Yeah.
If I'm fast. Yeah. No, I mean, come on. Like Conor Benn making $8 million more. Anyone would sign that. You know what I mean? If a company right now said, Andrew, we'll pay you 5 times more what Marina pays. You don't think I'm telling Marina to fuck off tomorrow?
Yeah.
And telling them all the things they did wrong to me, even though I never said it a day of my life until this point.
Never ever in recorded history.
I never like that. I'm a fucking boss. No, I'm just kidding.
That one guy
But
that
you
was
hear
for
me.
Yes.
When you get this type of money, you're out. So yeah, dude, freaking where were we going with that?
Rick Meridian.
Oh, Meridian, yes. If I'm Ortiz, I'm looking at him pretty closely here on this whole thing. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I think we've been claiming Oscar was going to win this thing from the very beginning, just what it looked like. That's where we're at now. So,
did you, on a side note, did you hear about, I'm trying to find the post right now, but did you hear about Zuffa trying to sign this one UK heavyweight and offered him a fuck ton of money? And I think he was with Matchroom, and I don't know who the fuck this dude is. Like, I mean, clearly I can't remember his name, but basically he's in the process of going back to Matchroom saying like, can you match this? Like, I think they're doing that again, but I don't know who this guy is. Like, I saw him and I'm like, and he said that he was offered a certain amount of money, like something stupid, 10 times more than what he was making with Matchroom. I don't know why. Like, I'm not sure what the end goal is here, and I'm gonna see if I can pull it up here so I can send it to you after the show. But I don't know if you saw that recently. I think it was on Facebook.
no,
but
I didn't.
It was just strange as hell that they were going that far to try to sign this guy. Another dude, I guess, sign him away from Matchroom. And I've never heard him. I mean, granted, he's a heavyweight. Maybe that's just the direction they want to go. You know, heavyweight boxing usually pays a lot more, right? But it just seemed weird that they're going this direction. Like, who the fuck is this dude? It's just weird that they were throwing so much money at this no name.
Yeah, I mean, look, and at the no name, the names that they did sign, they have no names for them. Like, Meridian needs to really look at everything that's been boxing's been doing to Zuffa. Zuffa's a powerhouse, you know. Mm-hmm. Meridian is not a powerhouse. He's a manager with like 6 fighters. Right out here trying
and like one superstar fighter.
Yeah, trying to do power moves. You know what I'm saying? Behind
Mm-hmm.
closed doors. Like, come on, dude. And really, it wasn't a move at all. You kind of looked foolish in this one. Oscar laughed from the very beginning, and he was probably drunk and coked out and everything else, and he still won.
Yeah. Yeah, he just got back from a night partying with his fucking chick, and he's like, "Oh shit, we gotta go to court." Okay, cool. And he still showed up, and he still whooped your ass. And so all you had to do was like, "Oh, Your Honor, this is what it says right here." Okay, cool.
This girl's all feeding him energy drinks. Come on, baby, wake up, baby, wake up. He still won, Rick. Come on now.
Like, here's some smelling salts, babe. Wake up. Oh shit. Okay, we're in court now. All right. So, Your Honor, about this contract. Yeah, but even hindered Oscar still came away with the victory there. But I'm excited that we're going to get Ortiz back in the ring. Period. That this is something that is because right off the bat, I remember hearing Oscar De La Hoya say that this could be one of those like Mikey Garcia things or like Andre Ward things that took forever to split from their promoter, and finally when he gets back into the ring, he loses such a big gap or loses such a big part of his prime. And I'm thinking like, fuck, man, if this is the direction they're gonna go, yeah, if the next time they're supposed to, because it was July, they were supposed to go to court in July, so literally it was coming up. This was the arbitration, I think, was supposed to take place in July, so before things looks like it might get resolved. But when Oscar said that, I was like, man, fuck, damn it, we're not going to get Ortiz in there against the top dudes at 154, but hopefully we will now. He's going to be, according to Oscar, at least, he's going to be back at the ring before the end of the year. Who that is against, of course, I don't know. Chances are it's going to be another showcase one, which kind of blows. But at least it's not, we didn't reach arbitration, and it's not going to be even longer before he's going to be in the ring.
I think his comeback fight is not gonna do the as big a numbers as they're probably going to be hoping for. I really got to think even the Ortiz fans are a little bit over the fucking comeback fights.
Yeah, you think? Like all the showcase.
I mean, seriously, if he knocks the guy out in 2 rounds, we're going to be like, oh, yeah, I can't wait till he fights Boots. We've been saying that for like 3 years.
Yeah. And if the fact that Boots fighting Zayas isn't a pretty big indication that the weight class is just going to move right past by you, dude, like you probably should have been fixed things with Oscar to get back in the ring with these guys.
I wonder what the time frame is going to be too, because it's not over yet. Rick has done serious damage to this young man's career with this whole thing,
Mm.
and it's not over until Ortiz is in the ring with either Zayas, Boots, or Frondora.
Mm.
That's when it's truly over, because that's where he should have been this year, with one of those, if not two. So we'll see. That's going to be the final date when he's actually back in the ring unifying. Then
Yeah.
you can say, from that moment to that, Meridian fucked up his whole career.
Yeah, because right now we should be talking about, oh, it's fight week for Boots and Ortiz.
Damn.
That's what we should be talking about, right?
Damn.
But
Yeah.
instead we got Zayas, which again is still a great fight. I'm not gonna say it's not, but we would much rather have Boots and Ortiz fight than Zayas.
Zayas is shooting for greatness right now. He really is. If he gets this victory, what a great coming out party for this young man. You know what I'm saying? Because this would be his step into the big stage, right?
Mhm.
This is his Trinidad moment, his Miguel Cotto moment. If he comes out of this with flying colors and is recognized around that island as the new face of boxing, that's him really shooting for greatness. Where Ortiz and Boots was just primed and ready. Like it was a clash that was gonna finalize their chapter in their saga. You know, these guys growing to this potential fight. Not the same. Zayas to me is stepping in as a young man to take on greatness right here.
Yeah. Have you seen? I saw it on DAZN earlier, like kind of like their countdown with Zayas, and again we'll talk about it on Wednesday because we're going to go into more depth on Wednesday. But have you had a chance to check it out? It's a little countdown. It's nothing great. It basically goes over their press conference where they're kind of yapping over one another, and then essentially after that where it's like preparation. So it's kind of sort of a countdown, but not really. There was on that show they kind of tried to draw parallels with Oscar. I'm sorry, Oscar. Fucking Zayas being from Puerto Rico, and then Boots being from Philly, and then who was it? Ortiz? Trinidad and Hopkins. That whole Puerto Rico and Philly thing from back then, and of course, who won back then? It was Hopkins who came away with the victory. So, but it was just weird that they were going that direction, like they were trying to draw parallels from it. Seems like quite a stretch. We're not talking about the same kind of level guy, but still, the fact that they were pushing for that sort of like narrative, I thought it was a little too much. But anyway,
they've been pushing Boots for a while as he's this just kingpin in America that I've never seen. Right? Like I've always been wondering who this Boots guy is. He's always on the brink of being something. But you talk to Eddie acts like he's already Floyd Mayweather. So yeah, it's we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when he gets into the fight. Long time waiting though for this one.
Mm-hmm.
For Boots and Ortiz to come together, or for either guy to be in a big fight. Both of them seem like they've been not avoiding, but just timing hasn't been on their side, right? Luck hasn't been on their side with nailing down one of these big fights. Now he has it with Zayas here. We'll see what he does on this Saturday. And the 24/7s, I haven't really been impressed with this new line of these build-up shows that they're doing. I'm trying to check them out on YouTube. Bro, to me it seems like it's your team filming you with their iPhone. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit's not even like legit production anymore, right? They just put these little 15-minute, 30-minute videos together, throw it on YouTube and pray that people are tuning in, but I don't see the same quality of storytelling or production that one HBO used to do on the 24/7s. So I have checked them out, I just don't get a lot from them anymore. Like that one, the Canelo Terrence Crawford one, that one got on my nerves more than anything. I mean, fuck, dude, how many times could you film Terrence Crawford picking fights with people? Like that's all we're gonna do every day. Every day he's like, oh no, go push that guy. Oh look, Floyd, he's pushing him. Go wrestle him. Oh look, he's wrestling him. Like seriously, dude,
play checkers and then we'll be that afterwards. Okay, all right. It was that basically.
And yes, and Terrence totally seemed like that dude, right? Like everything needed to end in a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't top him, and if you did,
yeah,
pop you in your mouth. Like fuck, Terrence, we get it. You can fight, dog. Holy shit, can you read? Fuck.
Yeah, can you type? Because
Yeah.
your grammar is not the best. Let's do that. That would
Yeah.
be a good storytelling. I don't care about the production. You can record it on your iPhone, but at least have a good storytelling. All right, here is Terrence going into his old classroom and having flashbacks, something like that
And
at least.
yeah, and you probably are right about the recording off the iPhone, because there are a lot of content creators that do it just off their phones. It really is just who they have doing it, the imagination they have of putting the show together, right? It's just not, for me, it's not there. It seems very low budget, a lot of these build-up shows.
It's
And then
low effort,
like
I want to say.
exactly. And then it's like you said, dude, they're only like 15-minute long, 20 minutes. Like, bro, why I even sit down for this? I feel like I want my 20 minutes back. That you showed me him jump roping and running through a fucking mountain. Like, what was that? Oh, here's my kid visiting me at the gym. Oh God, he's visiting.
And then it starts with the same story of where he grew up. It's like I kind of already knew that. Like, are we really gonna tell the story again? At this point, I kind of already know. Like, let's talk about Terrence's baby's mamas or something. Maybe it's a little bit more interesting. But yeah, I haven't. I try to watch them to kind of get me hyped up. I think I saw, what was it, the Fundora and Thurman one, and that one was okay. But we long for the days of the 24/7s, and even the Showtime All Access ones were still pretty decent, even those. But man, yeah, the ones that we're getting now are just even the UFC ones. Like, I used to watch the UFC ones a lot because they tried to do the 24/7, and it wasn't just a one countdown show. It was like I think it was called, it's called Embedded now or something like that. I'll watch them every so often, but it just, I don't know. I can't seem to stay on track. I'm much like I don't want to see this. I kind of already seen this. I don't know if I want to see it anymore. But yeah. I kind of lose a lot of interest in those.
Yep. Yeah, they used to win awards, dude.
Yeah.
These YouTube ones will not be winning awards.
Did you know that dude that narrated those 24/7s? Oh, is it 24/7 or the Showtime? Fuck. I'm not becoming confused. Now I'm going to spread misinformation. But one of the dudes from that narrated it was the dude from the was it Donovan? What's that show on do you remember?
Showtime?
Was it Showtime?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep,
that guy,
Donovan.
the main character,
Yep.
that guy, he was one of the narrators.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I forget. I don't remember if it's the 24/7s or if it's the Showtime one. I forget which one it does. But if you guys watch the Scream movies, Con, the guy, the one the guy that got framed, he does the narration on one of these, and I forget which one it is. But Google it. That's just crazy. When I first heard it, I was like, and then of course you recognize the voice, and you're like, I can't believe I'm having this 50 so many years later after the 24/7s. But yeah, apparently he did one of the narrations.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah.
There's a little bit of boxing trivia there for you. All right. Anything else we want to add to this before we call it a show?
No, sir.
All right. So one more reminder, guys. We will be back on Wednesday to get your go home show. Xander Zayas putting his unified super welterweight championship on the line this Saturday against Jerron Boots, and it's from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. And we're going to be talking, of course, odds, because I'm going to go check out the odds here in the casino. And on top of that, our predictions, more in depth, of course.
You know what's weird, Miguel?
Yes.
I was at Caesars this weekend. I didn't see these odds on the. I went to the boxing one to try to do a future bet.
It's not on the BetMGM app.
See, bro, what the hell's going on there? I didn't see, dude. They had some obscure ass fights on there. I'm like, what is this crap? Nothing was a headliner. Like, not even a Garcia Conor Ben. You guys supposed to be signed for September 12th, like they told us. You would think there'd be a line on it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That wasn't even out there. Yeah, it's real weird because that happened last time I went there. I didn't do any bets. Then when I came home, you were like, "Oh, this fight is on this weekend." I'm like,
"Oh, now it's there. Now it's there."
All right, well, there you go. Well, maybe I was a day late.
Maybe I was a day. We were a day early because like that shit was on here. Like my dad was asking me about this, so I go to the BetMGM app. Literally, what's today? Today's Monday. Yesterday or Saturday, and it wasn't on there. So,
but I'm telling, that's why I say I was a day late because I was at Sunday, Saturday. I'm at the Caesars and I'm looking through the boxing. Nice, dude. I clearly would have looked at these odds. You know what I'm saying? To see what it was. It's really weird. I don't know what Caesars is doing because that's the second time that's happened to me where I've come home and then I'm like, wait a minute, there is a big fight. Why weren't the odds already posted on their damn computer?
Yeah,
that little kiosk thing. So. But they'll have fights from like the fucking UK on there. I'm like, I don't even know these dudes' names. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you? Who's doing this stuff?
And I just realized that Emiliano Vargas is going to be on that card too. Like, what's going on with the promotion of this fucking fight, man? Like, we're not getting that much kind of, I watched
Bro, I didn't even know it was fight week. Seriously. You surprised me today. This fight I thought was bigger than that, man.
It should be. It should be.
It should be, bro. Like I said, this is a stepping out moment for Zayas. You would think the Puerto Rican fan base would be all over this fight right now. Even the influencers, where are they pumping this fight out?
Yeah.
Maybe that's where Zuffa is striking back. Behind closed doors, they're like, you guys won't talk about anything that's not Zuffa.
Yeah.
Never know, man. You see that iStream guy? The iStream?
No.
iStream Stream Eye? Who's the little kid that he just struck a deal? He used to run around with some of the boxers. He's been going to the fights. I think his name's iStream. I don't know. I'm 46 years old. But he just struck a fucking major deal with FIFA, dude. That 35 million people were watching his broadcast when he was from his bedroom. The dude's fucking calling the soccer game. FIFA, I guess, seeing that he had 35 million and they signed him.
Damn. Lucky bastard.
Yep.
Jeez. Can we get a little bit of FIFA money?
And all he is, and he's really, I've seen his reactions. He's just one of those, he just screams into the microphone a lot. There's not a lot of, he don't got a lot of soccer knowledge to be handing out there, bro.
Is that the dude's name? iStream?
iStream something?
Oh, stream. I couldn't tell if you were saying scream like or stream. Yeah,
just put streamer signs with fucking FIFA. Oh. Should come up.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Signs with FIFA. I show speed.
I show speed. Yeah.
Oh, that motherfucker. Yeah, he's close. Yeah, you're like, we all scream for ice cream, something like that.
So I tell my teacher I can't even get a D. I was like, I wasn't even at the fucking ballpark. Get out of here, Andrew.
Can I get at least a passing grade? That was pretty close. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, I got one of the letters right, and I capitalized it at the beginning of the sentence. Yeah, I did. Because this guy he's been in a few like WWE matches too. He gets like speared or some shit. I didn't know he had made some. Yeah, content creator iShowSpeed signed a groundbreaking partnership with FIFA, Fox Sports, and YouTube to officially stream select 2026 World Cup matches on his channel. FIFA Fox Sports Tap. Wow, that's the name of the channel. Wow, FIFA Fox Sports Tap iShowSpeed to stream World Cup matches. iShowSpeed strikes deal with, and it continues to repeat from there. Wow, well, that guy. Oh my!
Congratulations to him.
Yeah, congratulations to him. Well, I gotta clock in tomorrow at fucking 7 a.m. Swipe. This guy, but. That is going to do it for us today on this post-Father's Day show. As I mentioned, we will be back on Wednesday to go over the Zayas and Boots fight in more details. Of course, our predictions. I'm going to watch a couple of their fights and see what I can come up with here with who I think. Although I am hearing a lot of people kind of change their minds. They initially, out the gate, said Boots, and now they're kind of leaning towards Zayas. But we'll see what we come up with here come Wednesday. But until then, for my co-host, Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapiche, I am Miguel Antonio Barragan, a.k.a. Fight Fiend Migs, and this has been the Mad Boxing Show. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Take care. Peace.